guys. You guys.
Prediction? Yes, prediction. Pain.
Are you ready? I was born ready.
Obviously, you're a little, aggravated by the line of questioning regarding Canelo.
I don't want to touch this, dirty, so bad. I don't want to touch his name.
I'm working on feeling the art of humbleness. Hey, you being me, that's the reason why I'm crying, because I'm not that person no more. And I miss him. Because sometimes I feel like a bitch. I don't want that person to come out, because when he comes out, hell is coming with him. And it's not funny at all. It must sound cool, like I'm a tough guy. It's just, I hate that I'm scared of it.
It would be awesome to, be being a great war. Maybe with a Mexican.
Let's go. Way pop.
I have to put the joke.
No, hey.
Thank you for playing, man. I appreciate
Good
you.
timing, man.
Can't put predictions, man, but I definitely don't want to leave it to the judges.
And EnVivo, long live boxing EnVivo podcast with Manny Marrero.
Sean El Gringo Hicksa.
Hopper. Breaking it down like it is, like it should be. More boxing and in the studio. Gringo, we are in the studio.
I can't believe it.
Love being here.
Man.
Talking boxing while we watch the boxing fights tonight.
Why we do.
All
Thanks
the
God
boxing.
for Top Ranks and the Bubble bringing us boxing every week.
Some heavyweights
Twice
are
a
fighting on the line right now.
I know.
Later
Man.
on tonight, Jerry Forrest and Carlos Takam.
Yep.
Yeah, but speaking of heavyweights,
Man, heavyweights.
Whoa.
Heavyweights.
we have royalty here on the line. with
Royalty,
us.
big
Man,
time.
We are super excited, ladies and gentlemen. How about you just do the honor for me? man?
Oh,
You're
we
the
have
man.
the former WBO, WBC, WBA, IBF champion, former undisputed heavyweight champion, the first man to win all 4 sanctioning titles, Hall of Famer, Olympic medalist, Mr. Riddick Bowe.
Big Daddy.
Big Daddy in the house.
What's up,
Hey,
champ?
how you guys doing, man? Good to be with you guys.
Oh, it's an
Oh,
honor
man.
for us. We're over here. Oh, you should see the
Oh,
smiles
man.
we have on our.
It's unbelievable, man. This is
Well, I'm glad everybody's smiling because I can fix them smiles.
You sure gave us a lot of excitement,
I
champ.
got boys looking like neon springs.
Indeed. So, hey, champ. So let's just start real quickly here. What's going on in your life right now? What are you up to?
Hey, man, well, I'm pretty much at the house with my wife, my daughter, and I'm here all day, because of the coronavirus. But other than that, everything's pretty good.
That's awesome to hear, champ.
What about you? What you be up to every day? What you do every day?
Dreaming of talking to the champ one day, and hey, it came true.
Also,
How about that? Your dream just came true. You're doing pretty good for yourself.
That's beautiful.
Absolutely. So one thing that we definitely want to ask too is what you've been doing, but there's so many things that are going on and that have gone on in boxing, and you've been a big part of the boxing history. And now that heavyweights have come back to the forefront, people do reminisce about great fighters, and obviously your name has to come up when that happens. And how do you feel when people talk about you as being one of the greatest, not just heavyweight, but trilogies of all time with you and Holyfield? I mean, it's an iconic.
Well, I just I feel like a kid again. You know what I mean? 'Cause I guess I'm kind of shy, so to hear these things, you don't hear them all the time. So that is great, but it makes you shyful, I guess. But it's just a good feeling.
Oh, that's great, champ.
Yeah, and then what are your thoughts on the current landscape of the heavyweight division, champ? Like, what are your opinions on the current like Wilder and Fury and
All I
AJ?
can say is that if they were in my era back in the 90s, they'd have got dealt with.
They would have got their ass whooped.
They would have got towed up.
Big Daddy beat down.
Big Daddy. Bring another trilogy. I'll show you what I got, Big Daddy, right?
With that being said, and
Show you what I'm working with.
you gotta love the confidence of the champ. Do any of them stand out as far as that you like to watch them fight, like their style, or maybe they have charisma outside the ring? Is there anyone that you kind of drawn to? Any of the heavyweight?
Well, let's start with Deontay Wilder. I wish I could work with him. I would show him how to throw a jab, right hand properly. And I think with his power, he would get a lot of knockouts. I mean, he has a lot of knockouts, but he would have even more than what he has now because he's so wild. He's like his name. And if he could put a combination together, I think he would really be wicked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No one has taught him how to put a combination together.
Yeah, and that's one of the major criticisms he received in his fight with Tyson Fury, is that no changes to the game plan, it's no adjustments, no. So that's I believe former heavyweight, I believe it was Foreman, came out to try to offer some help But and I want to touch you on that. What are your thoughts on that whole Glovegate deal with Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder? Like, there's with the issues that they're saying about Tyson Fury and all the excuses. Is it just a weak excuse, or
you see something?
No, it's not an excuse. You in boxing, you're not supposed to do that. If you beat a guy, you're supposed to be in fair and square. So why would you fool with the glove? So I'm just saying, beat him fair and square. If that's the situation, he needs to be penalized for that. Or maybe the win or whatever he got against Wilder should be taken away.
Oh, okay. Oh. So you do feel that maybe there was a little bit of tampering with the gloves?
Yeah, you shouldn't do that at all. I don't care if it's 10 ounces, 8 ounces, or whatever. Don't fool with the gloves because that's cheating.
Yeah, no.
Absolutely.
What you think?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Whatever you say, champ.
Exactly. I agree. 100%.
It's a good point because definitely it's a disadvantage, and that's why it's illegal. There are certain things behind it that would make it possibly illegal. So that definitely is a plus. But you're right. There's no excuses in boxing, and you talked about something. If it was in my era, it would be a different story, right? Because there was no quitting out there. There was no excuses. I mean, you went through a lot. You went through a rough battle. Regardless of what happened, right? You still hang tough, and you still were able to become a 2-time world champion.
Fans love the fight. Fans love watching Big Daddy box throw down. You knew it was going to be a show.
Indeed. So,
and don't forget that I retired with a 45-1 record with 33 KO.
Woo.
Absolutely. 73% knockout rate. Speaking of that knockout rate, and you mentioned Wilder and what he needs to work on. I've actually heard you make a comment a couple of times in regards to that if he were to fight Joshua per se, you actually would lean more towards the Brit. Like you feel Joshua is the more accomplished boxer, and you feel better about him in that matchup.
Well, I'm watching the last fight they had, and he looked like he was in so much better condition. I don't know what happened to Wilder, but someplace. Somehow he's not there. In my opinion, as a professional, he's not doing the right thing. So whatever he did last time, he shouldn't do it again this time.
Do you think that's due to the fact that he just, got too hyped up on the fame, on the, the fact that I'm the champ, I'm the attraction, I'm the guy that makes the money. It has to do with that? He went over a little bit of his head.
Absolutely not. See, it don't work like that. It's because at the end of the day, a fight is a fight. So therefore, you got to prepare. You got to do certain things. Leave your girlfriend alone, your wife alone, or whatever. And so you know what you have to do. So that excitement and stuff, those little excuses, I can't buy that.
Right. No.
Absolutely.
Right. We're professionals. We know exactly what we have to do, when we got to do it, and when we got to be ready. So, I don't know what he did or how he did it, but whatever he did, I know this time around he's not going to do it again.
I'm sure he won't. He won't wear an about 50-pound outfit walking in the ring.
Hopefully he's making much better decisions this time. So another thing, champ, is something that recently came out from one of the champions here, Errol Spence Jr. He was commenting on, and he's a former Olympian like yourself. He's from the class of 2012. You were the class of '88 in Seoul, Korea, where you won the silver medal. He feels, and I would love to get your thoughts on that if you're an American and you support your American fighter regardless, whether it's better for the sport, it doesn't matter, rain, sleet, or snow. Do you feel that way? Like, if you're American, you should support the American fighter unconditionally, regardless of, what the better fight is and what the result is? Do you feel that way?
Absolutely, because if we don't take care of each other, who will?
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah, I have to root for the American.
Yeah, and that's what
win, lose, or draw.
Win, lose, or draw. And
Exactly.
he was pretty much upset about the issue that a lot of American fans were rooting for Tyson Fury against Deontay Wilder. And
see, now on a professional level, is different. It ain't team against team. It's it's different as a professional. You remember, you don't have a Russian team against the U.S. team at that point. That's Wilder and Tyson. So it's different as a professional.
Okay, no, I get it.
I mean, this is America. You move who you want to move for. You move for who you like.
Got it. So definitely in the Olympics, support your home country, but in the pros, hey, it's fair game. Whoever you like.
Get in where you fit in.
Get in where you fit in.
Absolutely, champ.
And I wanted to touch base on some of the fights throughout your career. But specifically wanted to touch on the Andrew Golota fight. I mean, that was some animosity right there. There were heated fights. Was the animosity legit between you and Andrew?
No, it wasn't animosity. I was bewildered, but I think what happened was he got to the point where he felt like he was behind on points, and he didn't want to be knocked out. So he said to himself, "Well, I don't want to be knocked out. I don't want to look bad. So how can I get out of this?" And the only way he thought he could get out is to hit me low. He did that 2 times.
Qualified. So he pretty much just wanted out the fight. He checked out.
Absolutely. If you watch the fight, he did everything he wasn't supposed to do, and he couldn't wait for the referee to say, "Okay, you're disqualified." They couldn't wait for that. He didn't mind being disqualified.
Yeah, once you're out of there, he didn't have it against Big Daddy. He wanted out.
He did. In so many words, I'm going to tell you, he just didn't want to man up and take his ass for
There you go. That's
right there behind.
Tell him, Big Daddy.
Get him with a chancla if you wanted to. Wow. Well,
take this ass whooping.
You gave us a lot of history, right?
Keeping it real with you.
Exactly.
Hey, thank you for that, sir.
We appreciate that. You gave us a lot of history. You gave us a lot of excitement. I'll touch base a little bit on that. But before we go, ladies and gentlemen, you just joined us. We are talking with 2-time heavyweight champion, Big Daddy Bowe. Remember, you can listen to us in everywhere you can upload podcasts. Long Live Boxing EnVivo con los tres amigos. Now, let me ask you something before I get into a couple of things we want to understand. First of all, who was your biggest influencer? Who was your biggest influencer to get you to that rhythm and that vision that you had because you're described as the biggest natural talent there is in boxing, but there's always someone behind you that kind of pushes and gives you that motivation. Who was that guy?
It came from Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad Ali.
My teacher bought a tape one day. I didn't know about it, but I'm sitting and watching it. We had to do an accent. He said, "Come on, sucker. I dare you to drink." I swear he was talking to me because my life just changed after that. I started talking like him, playing around like him, and I wanted to go to the gym. And I've been fighting ever since. So think about it. That one day, if I'd have missed class that day, I wouldn't have picked up boxing.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Wow.
So many amazing
It changed my life.
So that kind of changed your life, and all of a sudden, we go into fighting for the first time, Evander Holyfield, which, by the way, was Fight of the Year.
Oh, yes, it was.
One of those intense fights
One of the
I've
best
seen.
heavyweight fights.
Oh, absolutely.
You were Fighter of the Year that year, too.
It was nonstop action from the start.
Yeah.
Now,
But I
know
want to
you
tell
were-
you something.
Yeah.
Me and Evander, we have a policy. You know what the policy is?
What's
that?
What was it?
If he keeps my name out of his mouth, I'm going to do him a big favor and keep my foot out of his ass.
Sign me up.
but even with
Man.
that, I want to say, hey, because a boxer, you can love yourselves each other outside the ring, but we're in the ring. You're just my opponent, and I'm gonna have a job to do. But at the end of the fight, I mean, you're very caring, you're very charismatic, you're very entertaining. You gave him a hug, you gave him a kiss in the forehead. What were your words, if you can remember that? You can kind of tell us what exactly was the brief conversation you had with them at the end of the fight that all of a sudden you are the undisputed heavyweight champion, and what was your emotions to as you're speaking to him and giving him a hug?
Well, the thing is, he had something I want. I ain't never really want to hurt him or things of that nature, but he was in my way. I had to get him out of the way to become the heavyweight champion of the world, and so that's why we fought so hard. I mean, he fought courageously to keep the title, but his time was up.
Yeah.
And so I beat him, but me and Evander, we've always been great friends.
Well,
he's 4 years older than me. He was in the 84 Olympics. I was in the 88 Olympics. I went to training camp with him and got him in shape for a couple of guys to fight with and whatnot. So we have always been great friends. And I don't know if he realizes that I knew one day he was going to be the guy that I had to face. So every time I fought, I really was getting ready for him.
Oh wow,
that's
well, champ, you actually, and I tell this, and by the way, thank you, man, because you gave me glories, man. No one really around my circle of friends, no one gave you a chance to the point that I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put some money on this guy. All right, and I got everyone suckered into that.
He's cheap, champ,
which is fantastic. I loved it, but no one really gave you a chance. And one of the statements that I make is that even after Holyfield fought you, he had a lot of different trilogies. And a lot of very tough fights. So you fought a very strong, Evander Holyfield that still had a lot in his gas. Do you feel that you will still underrated, even though you were the undisputed heavyweight champ going into a second fight?
Without question. And I guess that happens when you have a manager who don't know what he's doing, or he don't know how to do certain things, so they wasn't done. So therefore, people forget about you and things of that nature. If I had a better manager, these things wouldn't happen. But you live and you learn. What you gonna do?
Yeah, I guess we've seen a lot of different stories on that, and just not the right path that you feel like you have taken. We all know you were talented. Is that how it took a toll in your career, and all of a sudden you weren't getting the right fights? Especially after that first one, you had some little exchange words with another former champ, the LW, kind of bringing that beef up from the 1988 Olympics. The way that kind of had a stoppage.
Is that Lennox Lewis?
The LW. Which, by the way, let me tell you, champ, I would have loved to see that fight.
I gotta tell you something. I call him Pecan Tan.
Pecan Tag?
I call him Lennox Lewis, but I call him Pecan Tan.
Pecan Tan.
Pecan Tan.
Pecan Tan. But guess why I call him Pecan Tan?
Why?
He likes his butthole slammed.
EnVivo!
Wow.
Oh, wow. Champ.
Wow, champ.
Well, yeah.
That's not in boxing, right?
It's not on Wikipedia.
I don't know, man. I'm just telling you what I know.
Yeah. Being a fan of you and knowing your history and knowing the beef that you've already had, you had a scar and you wanted to kind of really make sure that, you heal that scar. You had the opportunity. What went wrong that us as fans, we were dying to see that fight against Lennox Lewis?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we don't understand as fans the politics and all the crap that goes behind it. But what was it that really happened that we couldn't really, that fight didn't go through?
Well, what happened was we tried to put the fight together 2 or 3 times, but he always wanted the lion's share. And so then, after doing it for 2 or 3 years, you just get tired and frustrated, and you say, forget about it. My thing is this: he wanted to get parity. I didn't mind. Okay, we both can get the same thing. But then he started saying he wanted more money, and that was his way of saying he didn't want to fight.
Yeah, that's what happens when they make these ludicrous monetary demands. It usually means they're trying to price themselves out.
Yeah.
And is that why that why you dumped the belt in the trash can, champ?
Heck with the WBC.
That instant classic.
WBC told me if we didn't make the fight, they're going to script me on the title, so I beat them to the punch.
Hey,
Man.
you look
Wow.
that up. Look that up, guys. If you don't know what we're talking about,
That was fantastic. That was a
epic.
classic
Did
moment.
Did you ever speak to Mr. Sulaiman afterwards? Rest in peace, sir. But did you ever speak
Yeah, I
to him?
apologize to him, and we're pretty good friends now. But you know, all that was done out of frustration. Actually, my ex manager, Rock Newman, is the one who told me to put it in the garbage.
Oh wow,
That was instant classic.
Yeah.
So,
man.
so if
Yes,
you
it was.
go back in time and you have the opportunity right now to sit down at the table and renegotiate that, knowing now that you still have that little scout, would you be able to really put aside the money and, you know what, I'm the champ, I'm going to go for it? Because let me tell you something. You beat Lennox Lewis, which I know you would. You had an opportunity to do so. That would have escalated you to a different level in the sport of boxing.
Man, I will fight that sucker in the heartbeat. Matter of fact, I will have him for free. Let me get the win.
Man, sign me up.
Right.
Sign me up.
And then, but real quick before we move on, just wanted to let everybody know that this interview is brought to you by Logistical Financial Solutions. Logistical Financial Solutions. Could your family, pro boxers, manage medical expenses if something happens to you?
That's right.
Give my friends at Logistical Financial Solutions a call, baby. Now,
Champ, something I wanted to ask because it really stands out. You know, post fight after Evander Holyfield, it was the third one. You had a real focus and a real intense look, and you said that Evander brings out the best of you. Do you feel that with a lot of these fighters, say for example like Bud Crawford, will his legacy be impacted if he never has that great rival to bring out the best in him? Are we being cheated? Is he being cheated as a fighter? Does he have to have and find his Evander?
That's right, because if he doesn't, he's going to be forgotten about as time progresses.
mm-hmm.
What are people going to say about him? What is it to talk about? Who did he beat? He ain't fight Ray Robinson. He ain't fight Muhammad Ali. He ain't fight Evander Holyfield. He got to make himself stand out. So I would hope that would happen for him.
Yeah, definitely, and it sucks. The politics in boxing is do you believe in that, the politics of boxing, or do you think that because Terrence Crawford keeps saying the PBC guys, they keep having the network issues? Do you believe that, or it's BS, or do you think a fight can happen if the fighters want it?
Well, see, it goes both ways. He can get the fight, but he got to press for the fight, and then the people behind the scenes, they call the shots as well. So it takes a team to keep everything together. You know what I mean?
So it is a 50-50. It is a 50-50 deal. Yeah. It's not an excuse when they say,
absolutely.
Oh, got it. See, taking us behind the scenes, and but also I wanted to touch base about you. You pretty much have a big family. You were the 12th kid of 13, if I'm not mistaken. How was that growing up?
Why do you think I fought so well, man?
That's what
Get to that dinner table.
Did you have to fight for every scrap?
You got to fight for a
I had
drumstick,
to fight for everything, man.
piece of chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah, I go to the table and I got my chicken on the table. I go to the cabinet to go get a focus and I come back and somebody got my chicken.
Wow. Let's start fighting.
You want to spar? That's my chicken. You want to spar? Come on. We'll spar for that chicken.
And then, but then growing
I
up,
asked my brother, I say, hey man, who you shoot too much chicken? He sound like Scooby-Doo. I turned to my other brother. I said, hey, man, what happened to my chicken? Hey, Riddick, I don't know, Riddick. I ain't taking no chicken. My sister said, hey, girl, what happened to my food? She said, Riddick, I'm sitting over here. I can't reach it. And look at my brother. He got a mouth full of chicken. That's why he wasn't talking. I do. I was coupon on him. I've been fighting ever since. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's good.
Something just took over me. So I had to fight.
So Champ, you mentioned earlier if you had a chance to work with Wilder and you would work on his jab and kind of tighten up his offensive game and work on his his natural fundamentals. Do you get a chance to work with the youth? I saw a video recently where you were working it out on your your own technique Do you get a chance to work with the youth and kind of share your knowledge?
Man, I would love to do that. That's my dream, is to get into a gym and work with the youth and, build another champion.
Man,
I would love to do that.
That is awesome. Are you still involved in the sport? I know that you went to see the Wilder Fury fight, but are you still involved?
Yeah.
Are you ambassador to the sport? Is that something that you truly enjoy?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm in the gym every day, man. So I'm just waiting on trying to build the next heavyweight champion.
Okay, but you're in the gym to help it, or are you in the gym trying to see for a comeback, or that's something that may not happen?
Well, if y'all want me to come back, I'll make a comeback. Show me the money.
Well, I mean, this is a weird era we're going right now. We're going through a pandemic. We're going through a pandemic. We're going through a lot of different things that are happening nowadays. But also, we got two fighters that are possibly come back. And there's another guy that we haven't talked about. He's probably about a year older than you right now, and he is trying to make a comeback, whether it's for charity, whether it's for a title.
I think they're in the same class,
right?
Sixth grade class.
Sixth grade.
And they call him the Iron Man, Mike Tyson. So, is this something that kind of motivates you to say, I want to be able to at least, come back and show people what I can still do?
Oh, man, I can still do. Listen, Mike Tyson or Evander Holyfield, them guys want me on the show to box with both of them. I'll do it. I can still whoop both of them.
And then Tyson's your boy, right? I mean, you guys are pretty good friends or close friends, or is that
Well, we went to school together, but we wasn't, he had his crew, I had my crew. We ain't good friends. We were cordial to each other.
Right.
Say that.
A little bit better than Lennox Lewis, I'm sure.
Well, listen, let me tell you about Mike Tyson, because Mike knows one thing. I'm not the one to play with.
Right.
And if he keeps my name out of his mouth, you know what I do to him, right?
Right, exactly.
The foot.
the same policy? The same
Big Daddy policy.
I'm going to call it the
Big Daddy Universal policy.
I'll do something for him.
Yeah, and then, Champ,
what that is?
So why wasn't this fight happen? Because I know that, at one particular time, and I guess it was the same year, Tyson captured a heavyweight title. And us as fans, we thought about, okay, this is the opportunity right now to have not only a tour, but 3-time world champion, bring the Big Daddy up, and fight against Tyson maybe that summer. But you actually decided to fight Lara. So what happened there? Was there ever talk about possibly maybe meeting each other and fighting for that world title that just Tyson got?
Man, I went to jail to visit Mike Tyson twice to try to get the fight.
Oh, wow.
But I'm going to make a long story short. Look, we know who we could be, who we can, maybe there's a chance we could beat, and those who we need to stay away from. Mike knew he needed to stay away from me, so the fight never happened. We tried several times, but he just didn't want it.
Oh.
Just didn't want it.
That makes sense. Didn't want a Big Daddy.
Think about it. He fought Buster Douglas. If you look at Buster Douglas, who does Buster Douglas fight like? He's close to me. The only difference to me and Buster Douglas is that I hit a little harder than Buster.
Right. You had a little more skill.
So,
and you were handsome.
I fought Mike Tyson.
That's what you said in one interview.
I would bust that ass.
That's what you said in one interview. That your best quality is that you were handsome.
And yeah, you're right. I like you, man.
Reliving the memories, reliving the good moments, ladies and gentlemen. Talking to the champ, Big Daddy Bowe.
I have to ask Champ. One of the big, most iconic, and you had several moments in boxing. Was the second fight, and unfortunately, the intermission or the fan man.
It was
that was a crazy 21 minutes up.
Man, it set me up
mentally.
that fight. Y'all hear me? My manager set me up that particular fight.
Oh, did?
I was winning the fight. The fan man came in, and I guess somebody gave him extra money, but I still feel like I should have won on a decision. They give the Holyfield by 1 point margin. Then, as you know, before the third time, I knocked him out.
Yeah, retired him, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Pretty much retired him.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That's why he keeps my name out of his mouth. I don't
Exactly.
want that.
Fan man don't want none of it.
Was that a huge distraction to you at the moment? And also, we knew that also your loved one, just actually fainted and she had to take him back to the hospital. Are these kind of things that, and of course, it was one of those fights that you guys didn't want to stop. You don't want to stop at the bell, but
the thing is, she seen him take her out. And then your manager telling you to stay in the ring, you want to do the right thing, what have you. So you was in the ring, so I just stayed in there. But I didn't want to, I ain't going to say them, I didn't want to fight no more, but, I never seen that before, so.
Right. Nobody had champ.
And we still haven't.
no one
Still haven't.
No one have. It's just once in a lifetime, and it's like, wow. There's like, what is going on? We're Jaws, or we're just
where
down
were you
like
when it
working.
happened? Yeah, that kind of deal.
And also, your great cornerman, legendary Eddie Futch, wasn't he injured as well within the fan man incident, or he was impacted?
No, that was Lou Duva, Mama Lou Duva.
Duva.
Okay. Yeah, that was
something happened to Lou Duva.
Yeah, that was a whole wild scene. But I want
That was some night, man.
I bet that was a where were you kind of night deals. But I wanted to take it somewhere else, champ. I wanted to ask you this. I wanted to have a little fun with you. What did you have more fun in, appearing on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air or in the Notorious B.I.G. video? Which one was more fun for you?
Oh man, Big Daddy,
Big Daddy now
on the big screen.
Probably the Fresh Prince.
The Fresh Prince, because you got to knock Will Smith out, right?
Oh, I did. That's how the show went on. It was lights out.
He couldn't take your name out of his mouth, right?
He was trying to talk to the champ, trying to get all philosophical on him.
Trying to talk reckless.
Champ said, "Are you done?" and just laid him out.
And that's
what you call getting yours off the muscle.
Oh, well, but thank you so much, guys. You guys have any more questions for the champ? Or?
I just want to say again that it's truly an honor to have a chance to speak with you. It's unbelievable, actually. It's
made our
amazing.
2020.
Yeah, and just thank you so much for all you've done for boxing. Continue to do, and I'm going to definitely be pulling for you. We all are. That you do get a chance to work with somebody and make that next great champion. For those that are, we actually know some guys here. We're in Texas, so. Hey, we love to give them your information, so maybe you can help with them. Young aspiring fighters. Shout out to Listo Gaitan and
from
Marco
Boxing Gym.
Sweat Boxing Gym. But this is amazing.
Thank you so much, champ. Thank you so much for the time. We really appreciate it.
Hi
Well,
guys.
thanks for having me.
Guys,
You
how you doing, guys?
Hey, yes.
Hey, how you guys doing?
I wanted to also mention that Riddick is going to be working on a children's book soon too.
Wait. We didn't touch on that.
Yeah, he's going to be working on a children's book. Yes, he's going to be working on that. I was hoping he would. That's in the works. He's going to be working on that. He's also going to be working on his biography, guys, which is another great thing. So he has a few things going on that that he's going to be working on, I'm excited that he's doing these things, especially the children's book.
The children's book.
That's something to give back to, go back to Brooklyn, go back to his school, where he grew up, and share this story with all the children, which is a great thing. And I just wanted to mention that.
Thank you for sharing that.
That is great, and definitely once
the book
that
is going to be called the B&K.
Right, and that once
the book is going to be called the B&K.
The being.
What's it gonna call?
The B&K.
B&K.
The B&K.
The book is going to be called the B&K.
B&K. Okay.
B&K. Well, we would definitely love to hear once.
You know what that stands for?
What does it stand for?
What does it stand for?
The Big Nigga Killer.
That's a children's book?
That's a children's
my biography.
I got confused. I was like, whoa.
I'm like, wait a minute.
Mature children, older children.
Yeah, like third grade.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Well, we definitely would love to hear when that biography
Can't wait to read it.
Oh, I can't wait to get my hands on that. We're definitely
so that way
we
can pass the information to all of our fans.
Maybe call the children's book LNK. Little.
Which one will sell better?
But
I have no idea.
make sure you take my name out of your mouth because you know what's going to happen with the Big Daddy.
Oh, man. Whoa.
Man, I'm going to keep on. Man, you guys all right, man. I let it go with you guys. Thanks,
man,
thank you
so much for joining us, Jam. You made our year.
Man, you made my year. Yeah.
I have a lot of haters texting me, but it's so awesome, champ. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Keep in touch. We'll definitely love to have you back again when you get your book and your biography out. We're going to help you market this to all our fans. Stay tuned, guys. The two-time undisputed silver medalist, 1998, is still alive.
Be good.
You too, sir.
Check him out.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Jose.
Thank
Love you.
guys so much.
EnVivo, we are out.